Hello Hellscube, this is Juan DM with a review of Hellscube 7. As some of you know, I have some very strong opinions on card balance. Veto Council especially knows this, so I thought we could take this opportunity to review how good a job has been done on card balance in Hellscube 7. Spoiler alert, I think a very good job has been done. There's not going to be a lot of difference between any two of these tiers. But we're going to see how much difference is between the F tier and the S tier. I've set up some of the easier to understand cards here. We have an inspection of Traven, which is essentially a Traven inspector, since it's the glue that creates the 1-2 human soldier. And we have forgot about time zones, which is kind of like murder. Putting 10 time counters on something, it's essentially murder. Actually, I'd say it can clearly be defined as a worse murder. Not many planeswalkers in Hellscube as well. And Wrath of God. Well, this is again slightly worse Wrath of God because it allows regeneration, but it essentially is. Let's begin with one of the cards we played with the most, the Traven Inspector. I think we can safely put this in B tier, with 3 tiers above, 3 tiers below. A very solid card. It's good at late time, good at early time. You will be playing this in white if it's one of your main colors. You'll be happy to be playing this if white is one of your main colors. But it doesn't have the heights of power. It's not going to be your first pick, I believe. Let's continue with something that will be your first pick, a Wrath of God. It offers a huge opportunity of gaining a lot of card advantage, mana advantage as well. Resets the board. You can usually wait the perfect turn to wipe the opponent clean. So for being our first pick, we'll put it in A+. Now let's look at this murder, a bit worse than murder, and I'm gonna put it as a bit worse than Traven Inspector. Maybe not 100% of the time, depending on the format. Well, this also exiles that's actually makes it better than murder, I believe. But I think there's a lot of very good removal in Hellscube, and the double white hurts it. So I'm gonna put it here. Like I said, there's not going to be much difference between 2 tiers. Now let's look at Inspector Lieutenant Columbo. When it enters, investigate, then suspect another target creature. 2/2 for 2. And it persists. Now, in a white Winnie deck, this enters and makes an opponent creature unable to block forever. And when this dies, it happens again. Another one of your creatures is going to be unable to block forever. And you investigate it 2 times. So it replaces itself twice. I think this is an extremely strong card, better than the Traven Inspector. And it's going to win a lot of games when it comes down and allows all your team through. Very, very good card. So let's continue. Garfield Mystic, also a 2/2 for 2. It gives you cost reduction. Spells you cast that create tokens cost 1 less to cast. That's, I think, a good ability. There's a lot of token producers. Whenever a foot you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Garfield Mystic. This is trinket text. It's not going to matter that much. And since this is a situational card, you need to be playing with those token generators. I think I'm gonna put it at D. I think it will go later than the rest. It can be a shining star in your token deck. I don't deny that. But I will put it as an D card. Now for our first S card, I think an Angel of Undertale classifies. It's a 3/4 flying for 4 mana. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it, if they descended this turn. Now, what's important here is that they have to recast it. This is not like an Oblivion Ring that the angel dies and they get it back. No, they can kill the angel and it will remain exiled until they cast it, and only if they descend this turn, which I think it's a tall order when you really want your creature back. And it doesn't trigger of sacrificing any permanent. Tokens don't count. It needs to be a permanent card that's put into your graveyard. So that's hard. It's the best creature and you can't get it back. And you have to recast it. And this has kind of flashback. Exile this card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black skeleton token. 1/1 flyer. But again, it happens again, and it can be non-land permanent. I think this is an extremely good card that you will play it and it will win a lot of games like on its own. So for an F card, I have CPS. Impending 2, 1 white. When it enters, put a neglected counter on target creature. It can only be cast with Impending. And as long as it's a creature, you control all creatures with neglected counters. So you play this on turn 3, you put a neglected counter, at your end step, remove a counter. The opponent has the whole turn to do anything they want with their neglected creature. They can sacrifice it, they can attack into your team. You're gonna let it through because you don't want it to die, or chomp it, which is card disadvantage. And then it's your turn again, and at the end of your turn, you get the creature, which means you can't use a drop to sacrifice it, or anything sorcery based. And then again, the opponent gets the whole turn to deal with your 1/1, which you telegraph that it's going to happen, so they can plan accordingly. And only then, on the next turn, you will attack with the creature you gain control of. So no, I think this is way too hard to make work. Control magic, it isn't, even if it costs 1 less. So let's put it on F tier. So this is the baseline. I'm going to check out what do you feel about this. If you think any 2 of these cards should trade places, and if there's perhaps need of a higher or lower tier. I haven't reviewed all the cards yet. I chose this because they are kind of easy to understand, and I think they do a good spread on the power level. And I'll see you around. Let me know what you think.